tuned in to Get Right Fantasy.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focused Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fab, so you're Michael Fadiano from Sports Illustrated.
And you know who you can trust? If you've got some questions about your fantasy squad,
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You're tuned in to Get Right Fantasy.
What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm Mike Herrick, a.k.a. Classic Mike, and tonight I'm here with my good buddy, Evan Sather. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Great to see you again, Mike. Hope you had a wonderful holiday, especially the first one with the newborn. It sounds like, as we were talking a little bit before the show, it sounds like it's quite the adventure with you and your wife.
So far, so good. I'm exhausted. It is tiring, but at the end of the day, well, she's probably more tired than I am, so she's probably going to yell at me later, and that's fine. But she is much more tired. She's the trooper. She's the one that has to take care of the little one for, obvious reasons. But it's one of those things where we are doing it together and doing the best we can to get through it. So right now, she's great. Everybody's happy and healthy, and we are just right now. We are getting a Chicago dusting, if you will. 4 to 8 inches. So we are in the process of having to do that in the morning. So that should be fun. So tonight, me and Evan are going to be going through our Week 17 start sit questions for you guys. Please throw your questions in the chat. I understand this is mostly going to be a championship weekend for a lot of people, hopefully. And hopefully we can help you guys navigate. We already had 4 games happen. So that is also going to factor in a little bit. We have 2 games coming on tomorrow, as well as the full slates, Sunday and Monday night. So please, if you have any questions, we're here to help. So throw them in the chat. If you want your questions answered right away, make sure you guys use that super chat. We will stop everything just to answer your question right then and there. Also, just a quick disclaimer, please make sure you guys are using, letting us know what the format is, the scoring, half PPR, non-PPR, tight end premium, things like that. We need to know. It helps us better understand the question and makes it so that we can give you the best advice possible. So let's get into some news and notes to help you guys with tracking stuff. Of course, there are no buys. We are in that playoff time of year. I was going to ask you this question, Evan. How do you feel about the fantasy playoffs being these, how we now have these 3 games on Thursday? And then, I got the 2 games on Saturday are one thing, but now we have the 3 games on Thursday, which used to be not a big deal. They used to only have the 1 game, if any, and now they're having the 3. How do you feel about that going into having that be a part of fantasy championship weekend? Do you like it, or are you in a thought process of moving everything to week 16?
Things used to be week 16 back when we only had a 16-game season. Then the owners moved to a 17-game season, which obviously they want more money out of it. But at the same time, the league, the NFL has been pushing for more Christmas Day games to compete with the NBA in viewership.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, and being that it was in the works for years, just trying to get it approved with the NFLPA and so on and so forth, I don't think it dampens anything for fantasy football because it doesn't really matter when the games are played. You just have to start the right players and hope for the best. It doesn't change the what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't change the foundation of the game that we play. It's the same no matter what or when the games are played or who's playing.
Okay. Yeah, I just, my whole thing is the concept that these guys have to basically go off short weeks, They are running, and we all know how Thursday games normally go. And sometimes they can be good. Sometimes they can be horrible. Sometimes they can be mediocre. And we had a little bit of a mix of all three in these particular games. Everything was okay. We had some good, we got to see Bill go off, and a lot of people were like, oh my God, I played Bill. Like, a lot of us didn't play Bill this week.
Cool.
Some did, but good for you. And then
yeah, I said in the Get Right Discord server, recommending against starting Bill, being that Chris Rodriguez was not going to play because Bill has not been very good in his rookie season. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case forever, but he scored 2 touchdowns on 11 carries. Good for him. A lot of players don't do that off of such limited volume. It could have easily been I think if you took away the 2 touchdowns, he would have had like a low double-digit point in PPR day, which is fine for RB2 volume, and good for you if you get that. But yeah, congratulations to those of you who played him.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I had him in a league where I could have played him, but I'm not playing him over a guy like Derrick Henry or Javonte, who I have the
You'd be insane.
I don't know about insane, but it would be one of those choices that are I'm not ready to make that choice in my championship week.
But you'd also be smarter than John Harbaugh in the second half of that Ravens game.
Fair point. So, I mean, it's one of those things where I've always just like, I'm thinking about it in my own head. I'm like, one Thursday night game would be fine, like a normal week, but at the end of the day, having all three, it kind of just, it puts a damper on things. We got to see what the Lions were like at on a short week. Everyone beat up. They get, Taylor Decker gets hurt, or gets injured or has an illness. This time of year, that's huge. So, I mean, a lot of these things came up and popped up where if they played Sunday, that might have changed. Now, granted, that's somebody that played, Jared Goff and is a little upset about it. But at the end of the day, I still think that this is, something that maybe could be a difference, in the future. I don't know. Just thought about it. All right, let's get through some injuries. QBs first. Let's go to Lamar. Lamar Jackson is doubtful. Looks like Snoop Huntley will get the start for this one. Josh Allen had a foot injury through the week, but he's good to go. They already said that he's going to have no limitations, but it is something to be worrisome about just because you don't want your QB having any injury. They are playing the Eagles. Jordan Davis will be playing in this game. He was out last time, so this is going to be a little bit more of a competition for Josh Allen. It should be interesting. Jordan Love was limited all week. He did not clear. He's still in concussion protocol. He was ruled out. Looks like Malik Willis, who is also dealing with the shoulder and illness, will be questionable and expected to start. Brady Cook is also getting the start for the Jets. Even though Tyrod Taylor is no longer having an injury designation, it looks like he will be getting the start to finish out the year. Running back injuries. There aren't many, which is fantastic. The only ones that we can really care about is Alvin Kamara and Devin Neal. They're both ruled out. Dylan Sampson, he was limited all week. Looks like he should be playing. Josh Jacobs was taken off the injury report with his knee injury. We all know that it's been bothering him the last few weeks. It's a little odd that he's off the injury report. Are you still confident in what he can do?
I don't think he's going to get a full workload like he didn't against the Chicago Bears. He'll continue to split some carries with Emmanuel Wilson, but Josh Jacobs is still absolutely the guy. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't even that much of a limited snap count. Like, he took 39% of the snaps against the Chicago Bears, but he still got 12 carries off of those 39% of the snaps, which means that he's still the lead back, but they're being very cautious with him because the Packers are already in the playoffs at this point. They need him. They don't want to lose him for the season, make that knee injury worse. So, I think if he plays, you still start him because he can still get you RB2 volume.
Yeah, I mean, he played 46%, so he was right there. Everyone else was splitting up, 39 and 32 for Emmanuel Wilson and I'm misreading this. 39% to Wilson's 46. So, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm a little nervous about it going into my fantasy championships if I have him, just because I know that his workload will be less. So I'm treating him more like an RB2 than I would be an RB1 in these cases. So that's just my thought process with him.
And there's nothing really to worry about the lack of production he had against the Bears because first of all, division rivalry games are always weird.
Yeah,
they're always weird. Second of all, the Bears defense was 100% ready for Josh Jacobs so that they don't get carved up by him yet again, like what happened in Week 14 when he went 20 for 86 and fell in the end zone, which was a good RB1 day. Against the Baltimore Raven defense that still sucks at stopping the run, if Jacobs falls in the end zone, you're still happy.
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of like me with Javonte. At least I got my touchdown. That was my only hope for that particular scenario. It was kind of funny. The two guys that get injured got touchdowns in that game, which I thought was pretty funny. That Jake Ferguson ruled out right away, and then Javonte got a touchdown as well and was ruled out shortly after. Next is wide receivers. Let's start with Marvin Harrison Jr. He was limited all week. It's looking more and more like he's going to play. He at least had 3 limited practices. He should be good to go. Drake London, he was limited the last 2 days. He will have practice tomorrow. We're going to have to wait and see on his status. Apparently, he re-aggravated the PCL injury. So we'll have to wait and see how everything goes tomorrow. Chris Olave, he was put on the injury report late. Don't worry, he's fine. They're giving him precautionary rest, but he should be good to go. It's already been reported by Nick Underhill and a bunch of other guys. I trust Nick. He is one of the best out there for beat writers. So I'm confident Chris Olave will be there this week. AJ Brown had his wisdom teeth pulled out. He's good to go. He had a full practice day. He's fine.
I don't know if you guys have ever had your wisdom teeth taken out. I got mine out at age 19, and I did not feel like doing anything the rest of that summer. It just takes a lot out of you.
Oh yeah, I went under and got all 4 out and I went back to work the next day. That was not fun. And
no, oh my God.
I was 18. Oh yeah. It was horrible. I was a busboy, so for me it was just run around, but I could barely eat anything. Like it was soft cauliflower. I remember having to eat, I ate fried cauliflower because it was the only thing I could break up without, any issue. So
I was slurping down milkshakes like a motherfucker because I couldn't, I having solids was too difficult. So that was just the next best thing.
I didn't even have that. I just didn't even think to do like an insure or anything like that. I was just like, whatever. So
I was talking steak and shake milkshakes. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you guys probably don't have those out in New York though.
I've never heard of them. No.
Yeah, that explains it. It's a diner chain. You're not missing much. It sucks.
So we got Christian Watson. He has a shoulder and an illness. He's playing. He was full. He's fine. Chris Godwin, he's dealing with a fibula injury, basically the same injury he's been dealing with all year. He was limited, did not practice in full practice today, so he's good to go. Roma Dunze has been ruled out. He is no longer going to be playing the rest of the season, I'm assuming, which doesn't really matter after this week unless you guys are in week 18. But if you're in week 18, I'm sorry for you.
It was going to be a long shot for Roma Dunze to play anyway because he has a stress fracture in his 100%. Foot. That is not something you typically want to play through, especially maybe I'm just being a selfish Bears fan here, but I don't want him to play through that because I'm thinking of his future. I don't want him to make that fracture worse.
100%. Yeah, they shouldn't even think of trying to. I was surprised last week when they played T. Higgins after his second concussion of the year. Like things like that, sometimes you want to pull back a little bit,
But here's the good news for the Chicago Bears. Luther Burden's knee injury is no longer listed with an injury designation. He is expected to play against the San Francisco 49ers Sunday night. That is a big return for this Bears receiving core. And don't get me wrong, I love Ja'Day Walker, but we drafted Luther Burden for a reason.
Yeah. He ain't Burden, and they definitely need him. It's definitely a game that's necessary. That you guys, you guys are good. You're in. But at the end of the day, you want to continue to win, and this is a good matchup versus a team you might see in the playoffs. You want to be able to have a good game and keep things moving. So, and
never gets easy for us. Never gets easy for us.
No, at least you guys get to play in San Francisco. So that's the only upside is that you're not playing in cold Chicago this time of year. So.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's technically in Santa Clara, but I don't want to nitpick.
You know what I mean. Ricky Pearsall, this is going to be a game time decision, but it looks like He's been limited most of the week. This is going to be a very close decision, but I am avoiding him like the plague. He's not doing anything to help your team right now.
Oh, guess which other 49ers a game time decision? As we move on to the next category, tight ends, George Kittle.
Yeah, I mean, that ankle injury didn't look good. I'm actually surprised they're even trying to load him up. They're already at the point of not needing him to play, so I don't understand why they're pushing it. I understand he's a beast, but might want to give him some some rest.
Yeah, for Pearsall, it's not only his knee, but it's also his ankle too.
Yeah,
so
he's been running with that all year.
Like when I was watching Kittle try to cut on the sidelines and see if he could put weight on it, he could still put weight on it, but you could tell that he might not be able to play.
No, they said it was like a mid to high, but more closer to a low sprain. So
I thought it was just mid to low.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Like they're not saying it's a high ankle, but they're not saying it's a low ankle. It's like, oh, mid ankle. It's like it's more closer to a lower ankle sprain, but it's more complicated, and it's one step better, or one step worse than a low ankle, but one step less than a high. I don't know. I'm not an orthopedist.
I kind of figured if it was really a high ankle sprain, Kittle wouldn't be able to be putting any weight on it. He wouldn't be able to cutting on the sidelines and all that. Yeah.
100%. David Njoku, he's been ruled out. His teammate, Harold Fannin, had a groin injury that popped up Friday's practice. This is something that I would really start being slightly worried about. Injuries on Friday do not bode well for people. It could lead to him not playing. I would have a backup plan.
So Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com said that Harold Fannin Jr. is expected to play.
Okay. Well, I would still be very worried about it, but if you're going to play him, go for it. I am very I would be nervous having, Fannin play. Not saying that he couldn't do well, but it's not going to be the easiest of matchups. They did rule out TJ Watt, so that's going to be a little bit of a easier matchup for Cleveland. But still, it's going to be something. I have a weird inkling that Myles Garrett will be getting his sack in this particular game to get him over the hump of the single season record, just because I feel like Aaron Rodgers is just going to go, sack me, and just fall like Brett Favre did to Michael Strahan. So
that doesn't sound like something Rodgers would do, as much as I hate him.
We'll see. We got Dalton Kincaid. He's been dealing with a knee injury. He did not practice, was limited, and then he's listed as questionable. Be careful with that. He should be good to go, but I would just be very careful with Dalton Kincaid. Kyle Pitts was limited. I think he's going to be fine. There wasn't any, designation that, stated that he's not going to play or unsure. I think they were just limiting his reps. I mean, he's been the lead receiver for the last few weeks.
I think that might be the same knee he's had a problem with for like pretty much his whole career. I'm wondering how this guy still even plays football, the Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Who knows? Right now, he's fine. But check back on Sunday morning when I can tell you if he's active or inactive on Sunday morning with me at 8 o'clock. Never mind. He plays on Monday night, so I won't be able to help you there. I'll try to help you there. Maybe they'll give you some type of indication at that point. All right, boys and girls, let's get into your questions. We got Rides. What's going on? Rides Chambers. He's got full PPR, flex spot, pick 2. All right. Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Parker Washington, Trey Tucker, Charbonnet, Rico Dowdle.
Perfect. Full PPR. You go first, Mike. I gotta think about this one because, of course, we get the first question that gives us 6 options, and that makes me have to think about it.
No, I got to think about it too. I mean, I'm loving the option. I mean, 3 of these guys are in the same game, and then we're worrying about guys like Charbonnet, Dowdle. I know Dowdle needs a certain amount of yardage to get like a bonus of his going against Seattle. Seattle's favored by 7. Remember, this time of year, a lot of trap games are going on. They are favored by 7. It's at home. I can see them giving up a lot of points here. I'm not going to be taking Seattle for this. I'd probably be taking the Panthers. So I feel like Dowdle should be okay for this, but I'm not going to pick him for your spots. I'm going to go with Josh Downs as one of my guys. I love his chemistry so far with Phillip Rivers. I think they're getting him actively involved.
I don't want to test that Jacksonville secondary.
But I don't have any other better choice. Like, there's no better choices other than Charbonnet, and you have to hope and pray he falls in the end zone.
That's true.
So I like Downs for the amount of usage that they gave him last week, and maybe Charbonnet for the touchdown, but I'm not taking Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker's out of the equation. Parker Washington, I'm not too sold on yet. I do love what Trevor Lawrence is doing, so it's hard to not be a part of that. My gut is telling me Downs and Washington as the two guys.
Yep, I will respectfully disagree. I'm going to go Rico Dowdle and Parker Washington.
Okay.
Rico Dowdle having the lead back volume. It's going to be a tough Seattle defense, but he's still better than Chuba Hubbard, and I think you have to go with him in one of your flex, especially when he gets enough passes thrown his way when Bryce has to get rid of that damn football. Yeah. And then Parker Washington, just because this is Mr. second half of the season that always kicks in. Parker Washington has always been that guy because nobody else steps up in Jacksonville. They don't want to make Parker Washington a starting wide receiver, but they're always forced to every year because guys get hurt, guys don't work out. Last year, they lost like Christian Kirk and a bunch of other wide receivers. This year, they don't have Travis Hunter, and Brian Thomas Jr. can't build any chemistry with T-Law, so Parker Washington is probably going to steal a touchdown, and you're going to get angry. But not this time, Rydarius Chambers, 2041. You could flex Parker Washington and reap the benefit.
Yeah, I mean, 10 targets, 6 receptions last week for 145 and a touchdown. I mean, that's hard to ignore. But then you got to look at weeks, like the one prior to it versus the Jets, which was a very juicy matchup for them. I know they didn't need him that much, but he was 3 for 3 and 57 or 53. So it's one of those things where he's a very boomer bust. I would throw the caveat that if you're behind, he is definitely somebody that you want to play this week. If you are kind of already ahead, I would maybe lean a different way with Parker. I would maybe go with someone a little bit more steady, like Downs or Charbonnet instead of Parker. But I'm still good with, I like Downs a little bit more. So yeah, I'm gonna go Downs and Parker. You're gonna be going Parker and Rico. So at least we agree on Parker for the most part. Let's move on to Rafi Bomb. What's up, Rafi? How you doing, brother? He goes, why do fantasy gods hate me with some of these injuries? I'm telling you, man, I get it. I don't know. I'm facing a guy this week that had DK Metcalf, Brock Bowers, and also Harold Fanning. So it's one of those things where he had all those guys in his starting lineup, and now he's got to have to make adjustments in one way or another. So it's going to be interesting. I forgot to even mention this. So I apologize, Evan, because I wanted to talk about this. Another guy that's going to be out this week is Max Crosby. Little concerning, especially since they told him that he won't play this week, and he wants to play. What are your thoughts on this?
I was going to save that for Rafi's second comment, but that's already gotten ruined, so we might as well talk about him right now.
Oh, my bad.
First of all, Rafi Bomb, welcome to my Dynasty team. Every single year, a lot of my key guys go down, and then my starters don't come through. So I've had my Dynasty League now this is the 6th season, and I've never done better than 3rd. I already took 6th place just out of just that kind of nonsense. It happens. Sometimes the right decisions don't necessarily need to wins. Now, getting back to Max Crosby here. So it was reported by Jay Glazer of Fox today that Raiders told Max Crosby they want to shut him down for the final 2 games of the season. Crosby has been playing through injuries most of the year. He vehemently disagreed, left the building, and now people like Jay Glazer are wondering, what does this mean for Max Crosby's future with the Raiders? Does he get traded? Does he remain with the Raiders? If any defensive player in Crosby's level out of all those players, which also includes Myles Garrett, Brian Burns, I think Max Crosby is the most likely to end up finding somewhere to get traded. I think I think he's getting sick of playing for the Raiders, especially with how badly they're losing a lot of these games. And hey, Max, if you happen to be listening, please come to the Bears. We would love you here.
Hey man, I'll take you on the Giants, man. I think any team would be lucky to have a guy like Max Crosby.
You already have Brian Burns, though.
That's fine. I'll take more. We need more pass rushers. At this point, it's one of those things where, like I'm looking at, like you said, two guys with great sack seasons wasted on shitty teams. I mean, honestly, that's what it is. I don't understand it. Never have. I don't get it at all. All three guys are on shitty teams. But at the end of the day, he is somebody that it just doesn't make any sense. You paid the guy a ridiculous amount of money, and he is one of your, top franchise guys. Just let the guy play. Like, who cares about tanking? Who cares about like right now? It's all about like, oh, we want to get the 101. Okay, so then just don't play. Just don't show up. Don't. Just I know it's a home game. Just don't come out on the field, right? Like,
I don't know if that necessally counts as an L that helps your draft capital. Right. I need to read the rule book on that one. I wonder if they forfeit.
Yeah, like if you forfeit, do you end up winning? I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just like, if you're gonna just do that, then why play the game? And why not be competitive? Why not go through it? Believe me, I hated the fact that the Giants last year went against the Colts, did the 45 points and all that bullshit, and ended up getting, we ended up going to sixth place. At the end of the day, they still played, and they still were competitive. That made me happy.
So from what I'm briefly reading, if a team refuses to take the field, like if the Raiders refuse to do so, the commissioner, Roger Goodell, could see that as something that hurts the product and make them forfeit draft picks if that were to take place.
Oh, 100%.
So there would be discipline.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And honestly, I don't think I've ever seen it before. I think maybe during, do I want to say that, was it during the Kaepernick era that happened? Where like a team refused and they ended up playing anyway. I don't remember. Anyway, my whole point is that could they? Yeah, but they're not. They're going to come out on the field. They're going to just play their third string guys. It's going to be a preseason game for them to kind of get an idea of what their talent is on the field. So I get it. Like, that's fine, but that's better than nothing. That's better than just saying, don't come today. No, I want to play. I'm healthy. You guys can't see it on the mobile. Healthy enough to be able to play. Let them.
Mike, I've been seeing a lot more teams in spite of the big contracts they're paying a lot of these players. Tua Tagovailoa is another one where he's in a big, like $50-some million per year contract. Yeah. They benched him anyway. He's probably done as a Miami Dolphin, but we need to see what the Dolphins can do with him. Or if Kyler Murray too, like he's in the middle of a massive contract.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of these players that are being benched, and they're probably not. These stars are probably not going to be returning to their respective teams. Max Crosby is owed $35 million next year, and then $29 million in 2027. That's a lot of money on the table. If he does not play for the Raiders, we'll have to see what these teams do.
Yeah. I got to look at the over the cap to see who's the highest or the lowest cap next year. Who has the more money to be able to pay him? We'll see. Let's get into more questions. We got Equinox. What's up, man? Or no? Did I get that?
Equinox.
There we go. All right. I got it right. Flex, full PPR. I need one. All right. Romeo Dobbs, Michael Carter, Keenan Allen. Thanks, guys.
Carter.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Carter, too. 53 point over under. This game just screams run. And just, he's the best option you have. Keenan Allen, I'm unsure about.
I'm not even convinced that Michael Carter is going to be running most of the time. I think he's going to be catching a lot of checkdowns from Brissett.
That's the other part of it. Like, even if he isn't running, he's still getting the ball one way or another. I'm not sold on the Chargers versus the Texans. They're going to have to throw, but it's crazy that the line currently has Chargers favored by 1.5. That's just weird in my opinion. So we'll wait. I guess just two really good defenses. It's going to be a fun battle. But the Romeo Dobbs pick, I'm just not there yet. They're all healthy at wide receiver. Carter's the best option, in your opinion. This one's better. Silver Rapture, what's going on, man? He goes Stafford or T-Law, 6-point passing touchdown. Love it.
I think this is a fantastic question because they are back-to-back in rankings this week. They're both top 10 quarterbacks.
Yep.
The consensus on Fantasy Pros has T-Law at number 5 and Stafford at 6 in PPR. 6-point touchdown. I mean, I don't care if it's 6 or 4. T-Law is barely ahead of Stafford, but honestly, though, Silver Rapture, flip a coin. I don't think you can go wrong with either one because Atlanta can't stop the pass and the Colts can't stop the pass anymore, even with Sauce Gardner out there. I really don't think you can go wrong with either.
Oh, I agree. 110%. If it's me making the decision, I'm looking at the defensive game here. Atlanta is slightly better defensively. Right now, Indy is losing DeForest Buckner. He's out for the year. That would have probably been my difference maker type decision. If he was playing, I probably would have gone the other way. At least Atlanta has some decent pass rushing, abilities. They do have good corners. They have good secondary. I'm not saying that it's gonna shut them. It's not gonna shut down a guy like Stafford. But I don't hate Trevor Lawrence in this matchup, and both games are in a dome, so I'm happy with both of that. I'm gonna lean Trevor. I want to stay in the heat of what he's been doing the last few weeks. Even though I like Stafford a little bit more as a quarterback, I'm gonna go Trevor here. And the other part of his question was full PPR, Strange, Taysom, Schultz. I'm okay with Strange here.
Please do not play Taysom Hill, guys. He's not a dependable option at tight end, or I don't know. I don't even know if he still qualifies as a quarterback in most platforms anymore. But even then, stop taking Taysom Hill seriously. He's not a dependable option. He's a Swiss Army knife of a player who's really good at a lot of things in football, but he's great at none of them. Sometimes he happens to fall in the end zone and he deceives you into thinking he's a valuable option. No, don't buy this bullshit. It is what it is. Strange or Schultz. I have, Schultz is tight end 6 and Strange is tight end 9 in PPR. I think you got to go Dalton Schultz against a Charger defense that can't stop the tight end. Which
is strange to think with Derwin James as their safety. I'm still going to be leaning Brenton Strange here. Strange has just been doing real well lately with Trevor. He's, I think, the leading receiver other than Jacoby Myers, but I could be wrong. I know he missed 4 games, but either way, I like Strange in this matchup. I don't hate Taysom Hill like Evan does. I'm a big fan of him. I'm more of a fan than I'm a person that's willing to play him today.
There's a difference.
There's a difference. I like Taysom. Taysom Hill to me is the definition of football. And I know that seems like an odd thing to say, but if you've ever gotten a chance to watch Taysom play and watch him be able to get the ball and how he runs and how he does everything, he is something to watch. He is something that you just look at him and you're like, oh my God, he is the definition of football. And he just makes me happy every time I watch him play. I'm not even a Saints fan.
Speaking of tight ends, can I discuss you with some of these lower rankings for tight ends this week? Once you get below tight end 12, Tyler, and the consensus for Fantasy Pros, Tyler Warren is at 12, and then it's Taysom Hill 13, Colby Parkinson 14, Darren Waller 15, Travis Kelce 16. That's how much the Chiefs have fallen off.
Oh, well, yeah, and the fact that he really hasn't done anything. Like, I wasn't a fan. I would have had him way lower just because of the QB that he had and, and all that. I think AJ Barner is way, way too low on the list for these guys.
And he's at 17.
That's my point. Like, he's too low. Like, it kind of really irks me that he's that low. He should be in the top 10 in one way or another. Dallas Goedert should be moving up a little bit. Colby Parkinson should be relatively right on the verge of tight end 1, but not there. Dalton Kincaid being at 21 is just makes no sense to me. Little things like that. But I digress. Let's go to Oh my god, I'm gonna butcher it. Avid. Yeah, try to help me out here.
I'll give it a shot. Arav Aji D4X.
There we go.
If you're listening, Arav, please let us know if we got that right.
Yeah. I definitely want to know because I am horrible with anything unless it's like John or Bill. Uh, so play Hampton tomorrow. I have Jalen Warren and Hendo. Also, 2 wide receivers between London, Evans, Wilson, and Devontae. So for me, I'm playing Jalen Warren and Hampton. I am not playing Henderson. I'm not playing Travion. I don't think he plays.
I don't think he's playing either, but even then, like, you're not going to play Ramondre Stevenson over both Jalen Warren or Marion Hampton. I would much rather play those guys. Even Hampton against a tough Houston run defense, I would still rather play Hampton over Ramondre Stevenson, who, Ramondre is playing against a horrible Jets defense, but it's an AFC East rival game. I don't trust these rival games anymore, man.
No, you're right on that. I'm still playing him in some spots that I have to, like that I have him in, but I'm not playing him over a guy like Warren, even though this is a tough matchup. Both Hampton and Warren are tough matchups. It's one of those scenarios where I get it. You're playing Cleveland. You're playing the Chargers, you're playing the Texans. Both are very good against the run. I'm still going to stick with Hampton. You can pick either Hampton or Warren. So for me, I might actually lean Warren over Hampton.
I have Warren over Hampton as well.
Yeah, I think I would do Warren over Hampton, just because I like the matchup a little bit better. And the point totals aren't really there for me, but I'm still going to go with it. They're both low. They're both 39 or 34. Like both, they're hoping for a defensive matchup in this situation. So either way, I'm not feeling either game, but I like Warren a little bit more. He's more involved in the passing game. So
hold on, we got to answer his wide receiver question.
Oh, my bad. 2 wide receivers: London, Evans, Wilson, and Devontae.
So unless you're completely new to the game, if there's Mike Evans out there, you're starting him. You are never benching Mike Evans. I don't care how hurt he is. He's playing through it, and he's going to be dependable for Baker. Mike Evans is consensus at wide receiver 9 this week, and Drake London is wide receiver 10 for PPR formats. I am not playing Michael Wilson or Devontae Smith over either one of them.
I am playing Evans. I am going to play. It's hard for me to play London, though. I'm very nervous that he does, because I don't think he plays. I think if anything, and if he plays, he's going to be limited. He's been limited all week. He re-aggravated the PCL. So he had 2 limited practices so far. I just feel Evans is a lock for me. If I had to go between Wilson and Devontae, I would probably lean Devontae just a smidge. Nope, Michael Wilson. I'm going to go Michael Wilson. I love the 52 point over under, means more points. They're not favored since he's favored by 7. I love the narrative where they're going to have to throw it, which he'll be involved. So I'm going to go Mike Wilson there.
I can't wait for that game because it's going to be a crazy shootout. I have a hard time believing any defense will matter in this game.
No, honestly, I'm playing Brissett over Herbert in one of my championships because I see this game as being one of those types of games, like a big shootout type scenario. I don't want to deal with the Herbert versus one of the best defensive lines in the league going against his worst offensive line in the league.
You want to hear something similarly wild? I am in the Football Guys Bowl, which is the gigantic tournament. Shout out Football Guys if you're listening.
Love Football Guys.
I have Tyler Shugg over Justin Herbert in a championship week. I kind of hate myself for it. I picked up Shuck because Herbert got hurt with his non-throwing hand, and I needed somebody on standby, and I just didn't get around to dropping the other guy. This might accidentally be a good idea in this case with the big benches that we have in this league. Normally I hate holding 2 quarterbacks, but anyway.
Can't go wrong there.
Aravaji, if we said your name right, I hope that helps. Best of luck.
Yeah, best of luck to everybody this coming weekend. I know this is a big week for all. That's why we're trying to help you guys out. So Silver Rapture, he goes Hendy or Michael Wilson. For me, it's Michael Wilson because I don't think Henderson plays.
Well, Travion Henderson is probably not playing. Yeah, so you got to go Mike. Yeah, that's simple enough, Silver Rapture. Go Michael Wilson. Bam. Problem solved.
I mean, you can check in on Sunday just because we'll have the actives and inactives for you and, give you a better idea. If he is playing, I am still not going to play him. I'd probably still play Michael Wilson in my, just for my opinion. Rafi goes, does this mean that pass rushes are overrated? Obviously, teams paying money for high-end guys are losing and losing big. No, it's they want both to kind of gel together, if you will. If they need to put more into their offense, of course, but guys like Myles Garrett, guys like guys like Max Crosby. I'm not going to put Brian Burns in this conversation just yet because he's not up there. But guys like Crosby and guys like Garrett, they're iconic in the concept of who they are as people, and it's worth paying them an extra dollar to keep them around because of their particular their locker room, their vets. They have a good presence about them. So for them, yes, it's worth it.
Yeah, no, pass rushers are most definitely not overrated just because some of the top ones are on really bad football teams. Yeah, if we go by sacks so far this season, yeah, you got Myles Garrett and you got Brian Burns in the top two, Cleveland Browns and New York Giants respectively. Mike, not saying anything you don't already know, but the Giants suck. So do the Browns. It just happens. But then when you keep going down the list, you have Aiden Hutchinson, Daniil Hunter. I'm gonna butcher this guy's name, Tuli Puluto.
Oh, Pluto, yeah.
Yep. Great for the Chargers. And then you got Nick Bonito, who has been amazing for the Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
And then Micah Parsons, before his ACL tear, was tied with Nick Bonito for sacks. So, no, yeah, you definitely want to pay your pass rushers because they are game changers, even if your team sucks.
Yeah, and you want to make it's a way to help build you down the line. You just got it. They just need to structure contracts accordingly so that they can add to it because you want to be able to have as many people as you want those elite guys. You don't want to let them go if you can. Yeah. Dr. Ken, what's up, brother? He goes, I've got Kittle in 2 leagues and projected to lose. Oh, I'm so sorry. Should I push to wire and pivot to I always get his name wrong.
Tongas.
If I have to, or would you rather go ahead and pivot to Juwan, Loveland, Parkinson, and even risk Hill? I would go with Juwan Johnson. If anything, they've been having a good relationship. Parkinson's probably number 2 for me, and then Hill, and then Loveland.
I'm similar, but I have Colston Loveland at tight end 8. So I think that he could eat against San Francisco, but Juwan Johnson actually among the consensus is tight end 4. He's ahead of Kittle, if you can believe it. If Juwan Johnson is out there, Dr. Ken, go get him. I've been saying go get Juwan Johnson all season long, and it seems like nobody wants to believe me, man, because he's been a key contributor to that horrible Saints offense. Go get Juwan Johnson and start him.
Yeah, he is my consensus number 1 for you to pick up. Like I said, Juwan, I would go Parkinson Loveland, or Parkinson Hill Loveland. I'm a little bit lower on him just because of the concept that you're getting a Luther Burden back. So it's just one extra rung on the ladder that, has to be involved in this passing offense. So for me, there's just a lot of cooks in that kitchen when it comes to the Bears. So adding more just kind of pulls back a little bit for them, even though they are involved. Parkinson is just involved a little bit more because of Adams being out. So they need a little bit more help. And then Hill being Hill, but I think Hill is takes a backseat to Juwan.
Yeah, and regarding Jake Tongas, you don't need to. When you throw the ball in his direction, he's okay. If he falls in the end zone, you're thrilled. But he's no George Kittle. I think years ago, the fantasy footballers had a Rule 85 where anybody that filled in for Kittle, you started. But this is not that same 49ers team anymore. It is not that simple. Jake Tongas was never the most reliable option that he needed to fall in the end zone to matter.
I like Dwelly. I think Dwelly was good, and that's why they used that Rule 45 for a minute, or Rule 85 for a minute. Tudges is okay. I'm not there yet. And going against the Bears, who actually have a decent secondary And, with Kyle Gordon actually playing well in Bertzker, can really shut him down if need be.
Dude, you brought up Ross Dwelly. I forgot about that guy. I had to look him up just now. He was on the Lions, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, he's on the Lions now. Yeah, they were using him.
Well, not anymore. They released him 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I was going to say they did use him in a game. I remember seeing a catch, and I was like, yeah. But I'm going Juwan Johnson here for sure. Altube, what's going on, man? He goes start 2 full PPR. All right, Ladd, Tracy, and Monungai. Ooh.
Man, these flex questions always throw me off. I always need a little time to think about it.
Well, Tracy's a lock for me. I'm not. He's the lead back going against the Raiders. Raiders suck. I'm going to stick with Tracy. It's between Ladd and Monungai for me. And it's tough that the Chargers defense scares the living shit out of me. Texans defense scares the living shit out of me, especially for a guy like Ladd. He's going to be going against Petrie or somebody else in the slot. I'm going Monungai.
Yeah, I'm not. Monungai needs to fall in the end zone to really matter the most. He's a platoon back that splits with DeAndre Swift. And yeah, he's been damn good running angry on the ground like a Rutgers running back does. But I don't want to play him over Ladd McConkey or Tyrone Tracy, who actually is the lead back in New York. So the New York Football Giants are giving him the lion's share of the snaps, and 15 carries in against the Commanders, 16 carries against the Vikings. I think he's a must start in you're starting too. I don't know where you're starting these people, but and get Ladd McConkey in there too. Have Monungai ready just in case, but yeah, I'm starting Ladd and Tracy over him.
My only caveat is even against a good defense like Green Bay, he still was able to come out with a relatively decent, number with, 12.3 points in full PPR.
Sure.
Ended up having 4 targets, 3 catches, and they involve him a little bit with Swift.
Well, see, that's the thing though. Monungai happened to go 43 yards on 3 catches, which is amazing for a guy like Monungai. 100%. That does not happen for Monungai often, and that's why I don't want to bank on that over Ladd or Tracy.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I mean,
otherwise he got 9 carries for 50 yards, which is really good against a good Green Bay rush defense.
And they're splitting 50-50 for the most part, 55-45. It's not almost horrible. Well, that's what I mean. Like they're right at that 50-50 mark. I'm okay with a guy like him running against a team that honestly right now what are they? The 49ers. Where are they ranking right now against the running back? 49ers are.
That's actually a good question. I need to look this up too.
They're they're top 3rd, but they're like at the tip. So they're like
just the
12th. Tip. Just tip. They're about 12th. It looks like so far. So I would at this I have no problem with playing against. They're up there with Kansas City and the Lions when it comes to the run. Believe me, if guys like Fred Warner and them were there, I'd be a little bit more worried about it. I feel safer I'd rather have the guys that are going to get volume than the guys that won't, especially in my championship week. Ladd is another guy that I like, but the problem is that Herbert is going to be running for his life. I'm scared of that.
I'm not so sure about that. He's really good at getting rid of the football.
Okay. No, it's fair. It's definitely fair. I am more cautious in my championship week. I need to learn to not be. That's my own hang up. But both these defenses are 1st and 3rd against QBs this year, and I'm pretty sure they're 1st and 3rd against 1st against the wide receiver. So I'm just a little nervous about that, and I'd rather stay out of that particular matchup, and I'd rather be in a matchup that I know that I can win or have a better chance of winning. So you're going Ladd and Tracy. I'm going Tracy and Monungai. Let's go to Imperial Salsa. What's going on, man? He goes, time for discussing start sit. Of course, that's what we're here for. He goes, half PPR super flex. Malik Willis or Quinn Ewer.
Ew. I think you got to go Malik Willis here, Imperial Salsa, because he's got the better offense. Quinn Ewers is. I got to be honest, though. For a 7th round quarterback, Ewers is not as bad as I thought he'd be, but I'm not starting him over Willis.
Yeah, I'm playing Willis if he plays.
Willis
The
is
caveat.
fast too on the ground, where he's got that rushing upside that Ewers just does not have.
Remember, Willis is currently questionable with a shoulder and illness, so that's my only caveat here. If he doesn't play, then of course you're going to have to pivot to Quentin Norris, but just be aware of that. That is something that could hurt. So we'll wait and see. Let's go to your other question. It is Devontae Adams didn't practice today. He ain't playing. They already said that he's ruled out. We assume he's getting shut down until the playoffs. Yes, he is not playing at all this year till the playoffs.
It's a hamstring issue. They don't want to keep that aggravated. The Rams are championship caliber. They're not going to fuck around with him.
No, they're not going to fuck around. And they're aren't they the head of their division right now? If memory, no, they are tied with San Francisco. Where are they?
What does the NFC West look like?
I know. I have the schedule, but I don't have the.
Yeah. So Seahawks. Yeah, they're tied with the Niners, but the Seahawks are just one game ahead. The NFC West is crazy, and then you have the Cardinals.
That's right, but they're still in. They're just not. They're in the wild card. They're just not. They're in the playoffs either way. Anyway, no chance he gets the green light to play. No, he is not playing this week in one way or another. They already ruled him out. He's gone. He's not playing this week. Lee 86 Thunder, what's going on, man? Great to have you here. He goes, Malik Willis is dropping 24 points tomorrow. Bucket.
Well, technically he wrote poinies, and I'm guessing he meant ponies. 24 ponies. What do those ponies do to Malik Willis? Come on. It's week 17, folks. I got to make these bad jokes.
Well, Sniper agrees. Sniper Mel says he agrees with Willis' take, and thank you. But I think he was answering his question that's below. Wesley Name, what's going on? 2622. 2 questions for us. Jalen Hurts or T-Law?
We're going to go Trevor Lawrence here.
Yeah, I'm going Trevor Lawrence.
Hurts is still top 10, but he's not higher than Hurts. Lawrence, rather. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not there. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't think there's a world that I can do it. Number 2, Brees or Swift?
Ooh, that's a good one too. I see Swift is at RB22 and Brees Hall is at 27. I would rather take my chances on a mediocre rush defense for the 49ers than a really tough matchup against the Patriots. So I'm going Swift over Brees, as it breaks my heart that Brees is looking way worse than he actually is talent-wise, because 100%. The Jets are pretty much ruining his career. But I got to go Swift for week 17.
Yeah, I'm going to have to lean the same way as well for the same reasons. I mean, Patriots are number 2 against the running back this year, and I just don't want to mess with it. Like you said, divisional matchups are a little screwy, and it's a little bit tougher of a decision. Swift, on the other hand, can handle himself. He's been doing well all year, even if he's getting 50% of the run. I know Brees is getting probably 70 or more, but at the end of the day, he's getting like 12 for 30. It's just not. It's not the same.
Doesn't that Patriots-Jets game feel like a big trap game for fantasy purposes?
It does, and it's scary because it's a 13.5 point over-under or 13-point spread for the Patriots. They're favored by 13.5, and it's 42. Like, I am putting my money on the Jets on that one. I'm just not willing to go down that road if I have to.
Yeah, because how do we know the Patriots aren't going to put in their backups and make the game way closer than it should be?
Yeah. I mean, Patriots already won it. They don't have to do anything. Jets are just...
They can rest their starters if they want.
If they want. We'll see. Sniper Mel goes, hi, y'all. What's up, bro? He goes, half point, PPR. Looks like tight end premium. Pick one.
I think Sniper Mel is a woman, but we'll include bro with her too.
Oh.
Bro is universal.
I apologize if that's the case, and it is what it is. Pick one. Burrow, Lawrence, or Brissett? I have to go Burrow here.
I can't see a reason to ever bench Burrow, especially in a juicy matchup against the Arizona Cardinals that can't even stop a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is pretty much universal QB1 this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Burrow right now. Lawrence would be a close second, and Brissett right after that. Picking two out of this, we're going Goddard, Barner, Loveland, and Parkinson. I think Goddard is a lock for both of us. I think the other question mark would be the next guy. I'm gonna go Barner. I like Barner in this matchup.
So Goddard and Loveland, because I actually have Loveland a little higher than Goddard.
No, fair enough. I just like Barner and the way that they've been using him as of late. They get him a lot more involved. He's involved on the goal line. They involve him a lot in the red zone. I like what Barner's been doing all year. But the problem with him, he's a boomer bust guy. He can give you 0. He can give you 20. So just be aware of that aspect. Loveland is is definitely safer. He is definitely the better of the choices when it comes to consistency.
Yeah.
Parkinson is probably right after that. I just like Barner a little bit more out of these three. It's more of a feeling than actual analysis, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with AJ Barner is that he has to fall into the end zone to maximize his true potential. He does get his targets, but he doesn't really get anywhere after the catch. He's mostly a short yardage possession guy. So I can't trust Barner over Loveland or Goddard for that reason, because Loveland will catch it deep and get somewhere after the catch.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just, I don't know. I have this feeling. It's just a feeling.
Mel, even though you're a Packers fan, happy to help.
We don't discriminate here. Let's go to Dr. Ken. He goes, DSTs are fun. He goes, Steelers, Rams, Jags, or Chargers. Some rankings seem to have Steelers at the top, but the catch is that if the Ravens lose, some think Steelers may not be trying too hard this week. And that's something you have to think about. Oh, of course. That's why we're here there, Mel.
I don't buy that. I think you have to play the Steelers.
You know, I don't disagree. I like the Steelers in this matchup. It's the lowest over-under, which is a huge deal when you're picking DST. And I like the matchup versus Jador. I mean, it's just a better matchup. I don't mind the Jags one either. I think the Jags one is a little bit interesting as well. They do have a good pass rush. They have a good defense. They have a good secondary. Going against the line that's a little beat up, going against an older Phillip Rivers. They're fast. They're good. They're quick. They're strong. I like the Jags a little bit in this matchup, but not a ton.
I'm not like, I mean, I know that the Jaguars are basically number 4 in DST, but I mean, they don't really make a lot of plays. I mean, sometimes they might get a sack. Once in a blue moon, they'll get a forced fumble recovery. They don't get a ton of interceptions. They don't make a lot of plays, which is why I can't put the Jaguars higher than the Steelers.
Fair enough. Yeah. I would be more inclined to play the Steelers if TJ Watt was playing. That's my only hang up for them.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
They've been playing okay without him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to not play the Steelers. Rams, I'm just not going to play in this matchup, even though I'm actually, you know what? The Rams might not be a bad option versus Kirk Cousins.
Well, I mean, the Rams I have at DST 10, just ahead of Jacksonville DST 11. So, but I still want to play the Steelers because, I mean, it's the fucking Browns, man. Come on.
Yeah, I was going to say the over-under is the only thing that's keeping me from changing anything at this point, just because they have the game at 49.5 for the Falcons and Rams. My only caveat to that, like I said, it's Kirk Cousins. It's a bad line versus a good line. Rams are just so good on defense. It's hard to ignore. But yeah, I think you have it in the right order though, for sure.
I think it's strange that Vegas has that game with Pittsburgh at -3. They must not have a lot of confidence in that offense, because I don't see how the Steelers win more by less than 2 scores. Like, even if it's by only like 10 points, I still think they do that.
Yeah, I mean, and usually the funny part, when they do these, the Browns usually would be getting a favor by 3. So the fact that they're on the other side of it, it means that it's how bad they truly are. So yeah, I'm not a big and especially without Junkins and a couple other guys on their line are beat up. Yeah, go with the Steelers. Let's go with Black 26 baby. What's up, man? Is Josh Jacobs startable? I can flex Devontae instead.
You can start Josh Jacobs, but I'm not starting him over Devontae if we're talking about a flex spot.
Yeah, if it's a flex spot, I'd probably be playing Devontae over Josh Jacobs. Right now, let me just double check my math, but I'm pretty sure. What are they? Well, Buffalo's like middle or high mid. They're like I said before, they're the tips of the third, so they're like about 12th right now against wide receivers, which isn't horrible. Right now, AJ Brown a little beat up.
And you know what? I think I changed my mind. I think I'm still going Josh Jacobs just because that Baltimore defense is just ass.
Yeah.
All that talent and their ass. I think if Jacobs plays, you got to start him.
I think so too, and he's off the injury report, so he's going to be playing. And right now they're mid tier when it comes against the running back. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Jacobs over Devontae. You're going to see a 50% or like a third maybe. That's the hard part with Jacobs. It looks like they are trying to rotate everybody in and out to give him a little bit of a break. The thing that sucked was not seeing him in on 2-minute drills and passing situations. So he's strictly a runner. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but if he's healthy and they know injury, he didn't have an injury tag this week, he might be a better startable option this week than he was last week. Maybe they got a little bit of a break and, he's able to play a little bit better now. But like Evan said, this is a crappy Ravens defense that has been hard to stop. And, at this point, I can't see you playing. Yeah, I can't see it. Devontae I like, but not that much. So yeah. Elena Blitz, what's going on? How you doing? We got kicker question. Andy B or Cam Little? Oh, for me, that's easy. Cam Little.
Yeah, Cam Little is pretty much at the consensus kicker number 3 this week. Play him over Andy B.
Yeah, I'm playing him over Andy B, and it's more. He's a great kicker. Great. The team has been playing well. But Andy, I'm not playing. It's at MetLife. Right now, there's a huge snowstorm running through there, and by then, it's probably going to be a little bit windy and gross. Cam Little's at least kicking in a dome. I want my kicker to be in a dome today. Carter or Quorum, full PPR. This is a little tougher.
No, it's not. Play Carter.
Interesting.
Blake Corum's not even the starting running back, and Michael Carter right now is. Not that means much for the Cardinals anymore, because they are the worst team in the league at running the football. But Carter is at least has hands that can catch the football, where Blake Corum not so much. So I would much rather play Michael Carter.
Interesting. I have Carter 26, Blake Corum at 31. They are right in that same tier for me. Since his defense sucks, going Carter. I'm gonna limit it to that.
Yeah, Blake Corum falling in the end zone is tricking a lot of people into thinking that, oh, he's valuable now on limited snaps. The Rams are just doing a 2-back approach the way that the Detroit Lions did back in the day with Gibbs and Monty, which has changed a lot now. I don't know why they went away from that, but that's just what the Rams are doing to move the football now, which happens to be working for them to win some games. But I'm not starting Blake Corum over most running backs. So unless you guys are completely depleted of running backs, don't even look at Corum to start him, man. He should be riding your bench.
Yeah, but I see the appeal. He's been a top 20 to 20. His highest or lowest is 22. And his highest was 3 the last 4 weeks. So
sure, because he had that big explosive 2-touchdown game against a bad Cardinals defense.
Oh, 100%. He's had the 2 touchdowns and he's had a touchdown since. So he's had touchdowns in all 4 games, on top of the fact that he's gotten at least 14 touches since last week. And, he's been averaging a little bit more every week. I understand the reasoning. I'm going to still go Carter just because of the Cincy matchup. It's too juicy not to. And like I said before, it's a 52 point over under. Yeah, 52.5 point over under. That means there are lots of points going to be scored in this game. Or you can think the other and go down the other route, because a lot of people that usually when the line is that high, they usually are they're trying to get people to
Which sports book did you read that from? Because DraftKings has it at 53.5.
PFF.
Oh, PFF. Okay, yeah. I'm looking at DraftKings' odds, and they have Cincy -7, and the over/under is 53.5.
Yeah,
same sentiment though.
Yeah, well, it started at 53 and it went down to 52.5. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the one reason why I like PFF a little bit better when it comes to the line, because the line, they show the start and then they show what happens. A lot of these sports books, they come out with their numbers on like Tuesday or Wednesday and then they keep it. And a lot of people aren't fully, they don't always look at that, and they forget to look at the concept that the line actually changes per, situation. Some sports books do it, some don't. But a lot of them try to keep it at a certain number sometimes. And, that's why when you do sports betting, always shop your numbers, because they're not the same everywhere. And you want to make sure you get the best price for what you're trying to be betting, especially lines, especially over-unders, things like that. Those things are very important to look at. I don't do a ton of sports betting, but when I do, it's what I do. Like, I will look at 4 different sites and find the one that has the lower or the higher based on what I'm looking for. But I also tend to look for the guys that are a little bit lower on the reception scale instead of the guys that are, 9 receptions or, for the higher or lower. I'm going to go for the guy that they have at the 2.5, and I'm going to go, over, for these guys. So just a little advice.
Yep, and one more thing I'll say about the Rams backfield, where a lot of people have too much faith in Blake Corum. He has yet to get more touches on the ground than Kyren Williams this year. Kyren is their guy until the Rams say that he's no longer the guy. So you got to start him over Blake Corum, and don't, like I said, Blake Corum is getting too much praise, and it's driving me nuts, and that's one of those trigger things that, it probably could be used against me in certain situations, but I can't start Corum over Carter.
I get it. I see the appeal of wanting to start a guy like Corum, who's been hot as of late, and Carter just now getting the opportunity that he hadn't had in quite some time. So I get the situation for both sides of the coin. I also see the concept of his touches as of late. Just moved. There it is. So he's been getting 29%, which honestly, it feels more like 50. every time I watch the Rams, it always feels like 50%, but it's really only 30, and he's doing a ton with 30%. So I understand why people are in that boat, but Carter is the better option here.
Speaking of Vegas and sports betting odds, I think the most egregious one that I'm finding on DraftKings is the tomorrow night's matchup, Houston at LA Chargers. Right now, the line is at Chargers at -1.5. Yeah. The over-under is 39.5.
39.5, yeah.
I think that's crazy.
That's what I was just saying. I was saying that before. Yeah.
I don't see the Chargers coming up on top in that game, though. I think Houston's going to win.
I think this is going to be a really good defensive battle. And I think that it's going to be one of those like 3-and-out type games that are going to just constantly go back and forth, 60, one of those like 11 punt type scenarios. And it's just going to be field position and then like a fumble and then someone, gets a score.
If Houston gets the ball in Dalton Schultz's hands, it's over for the Chargers. They cannot stop the tight end.
Yeah, for sure. I like Dalton Schultz too in this game for sure. A lot of places I'm, either facing or playing Collins, so that hurts. But we'll wait and see how that goes. Woody Marks will play in this game. I know he didn't play last week. He will be playing in this week. He is rested and good to go. The Chargers game, or the Chargers side of the ball, everybody's available. Vidal is the only one that might not play. He has been very banged up the last few days. I think he's just listed as questionable. Alina by yeah, there we go. Last question. You can have 100 questions. I don't care. 2 flex. Let's go with DJ Moore, Brian Thomas Jr., Pollard, or Slayton. Oh, gross. I think a lock for both of us is DJ Moore.
Yes, easily.
Yeah. I think the harder option here, and it's full PPR, I think I'm going to go Pollard.
That's something I need to think about, because the rest of these options, I'm thinking Brian Thomas Jr., but with the way that he struggled to connect with T-Law all season, that's difficult for me to be sure about that.
Not in my championship.
Yeah. So Brian Thomas Jr. in flex rankings is at a consensus 59. Pollard is at 54 and Slayton is at 100. Like, Slayton is not even considered a major, like, dependable option. You probably already know as a Giants fan, Mike, where Slayton looks good in some games, but then no, you can't.
He's a boomer bust guy that can, unfortunately, he can go for 2 for 100 yards or he can go for nothing. So just, I would avoid it.
Yeah. So in this case, I think I'm going to go Tony Pollard here.
Yeah. Tony Pollard's a safer option for sure. He's definitely a solid option to say the least. And Saints are kind of in that 20 range when it comes to stopping the run. So I am pretty good with playing Pollard. He is good when he needs to be. He's a flex option as you're looking for. DJ Moore is just a solid option with everybody out. While with Rome out, he's a lot better of an option moving forward. And to be fair, this week is a good matchup for him to do well.
Funny thing, not so funny thing about Tony Pollard, though. He's had 3 games in a row where he's had over 100 rushing yards on the ground. I do not see that streak snapping against this bad Saints defense.
Yeah, no, I think he continues on and gets a touchdown or 2. Giants or Eagles?
I loved playing the Giants defense last week, but I don't think I'm as confident this week.
They're favored by 2.5 over under 41.5.
Yeah, I hear you. But in this case, I think you got to go. I still think you got to go New York Giants. I hate to say it, but
I cannot put my future on a team versus Josh Allen at home. If this game was in Philly, I'd probably give the nod to the Eagles. They're playing at home. They need the win, and they are, they'll get a sack or 2. They're playing the Giants are playing a depleted tank team. Like, this is going to be a fun defensive matchup for the Giants. And they, beyond what they have been all year, it's the Giants. Like, they have a good pass rush. The Raiders suck. They have a Luminor who can help them with certain things. So I'm happy with that. Go Giants. You're fine. Dr. Ken goes, I made the wrong call with Kenneth Walker last week. Can I confidently make him my RB2 this week and fear his boom bust play and pivot to, or fear his boom bust play, go with Carter, Woody, or Sampson? No, I am sticking with Ken Walker.
Yeah, I think Ken Walker is a fine play this week. I mean, I never expect Ken Walker to be a spectacular play all the time. No. I see he's at RB22 in the Fantasy Pros consensus. Mm-hmm. I think you can confidently play him as an RB2 if you need to do so. Michael Carter is RB26. Woody Marks is nowhere near the top 30, and Dylan Sampson, forget it. So I think you can go Ken Walker and be fine with it, Ken. Even if you got points on the bench, don't even sweat it. You don't make the wrong call with Ken Walker, who's clearly the lead back over Zach Charbonnet. Go ahead, start Ken Walker.
Yeah, I'm playing him, and I'm looking at the number. He is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got to do math. He's 23rd. Not 23rd. The Carolina Panthers are 23rd against running backs. It's a great matchup. Just lean on it. It's 42-point over under. They're favored by 7. The narrative just pushes the concept that they're going to have to lean on the run anyway, and they're going to be on, running the ball a lot more. So I'm sticking with Ken Walker until further notice. I've been sticking with him for most of the year because I have no other choices, or I had the choice, and I there have been weeks that I should have switched him out and I didn't. That's on me. But it is what it is. That's what you get when you get with Ken Walker. Hopefully he gets traded and goes to a team that can appreciate him.
Well, I'm not going to let us go off the air. I'm going to ask about one more thing, too. Sure. So the New York Football Giants went through hell and back this year, Mike. Yeah. So they finally got rid of that awful Brian Dable at head coach who almost got Jackson Dart killed. Unfortunately, Cam Scadaboo ended up getting hurt, too.
Horrible tackle. That guy should have been fined, and they weren't.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was a hip drop. It was a hip drop tackle, and he wasn't nothing.
Yeah. I don't get. Anyway, I mean, beyond the selective safety standards that the referees are setting for the NFL, Where do you see the New York Giants going once they're after Week 17? Do they actually hire? Do they actually hire the right guy to replace him? Better yet, who would you want as your head coach, and why is it not Matt Nagy?
It's not Matt Nagy. I would love Mike Tomlin, but I know that that's probably far-fetched. I think he would be probably my best, my top of the heap that I want. There's been rumblings of I forgot off the top of my head who he is. I think is it the defensive coordinator for the Rams. There's some guy out there. I forgot. He's like one of the next best candidates that are out there. I forgot his name off the top of my head. I know I know like the face if you like put it on. Anyway, Mike Tomlin. But here's the caveat. I do think that they fire Joe Shane at the end of the year. I think he's gone week 18 or Black Monday, like I said. I think he's gone that day. I do think that Kafka is going to be in the run for it. I don't think he gets it. I just don't think they want to keep him around. He's gone for many head coaching jobs and failed. He's part of the Andy, Reid tree, which I get, but I'm just not there yet. I never liked him as a QB. Never really liked him anywhere else.
You know who I'd love to see the Giants hire? I don't have any proof that he'd make a great head coach.
Fair.
Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator for the Chargers.
That's the guy. Okay. Yep. You're right. It was a defensive coordinator. I knew he was, one of the top head coaching candidates. Yes. Jesse Minter. He's a guy that I've been looking at. I like him a lot. I heard good things about him. Another guy. Who's the other guy that I like? Honestly, I've just been thinking of Tomlin. Jay Gruden's in the mix as well. They've been talking about bringing him back.
Jay Gruden? I don't know about that.
I've heard it. Bill Cowherd said that he'd love to be a Giants head coach.
Wouldn't that be something?
I would love Bill Cowherd.
Lou Anarumo.
Who remind me?
He was the defensive coordinator for the Bengals for years, and they finally fired him. He became the Colts defensive coordinator, and he's made lemonade out of lemons with that defense this year.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about. I'm not there yet.
I'm not sure I'm there yet either because, he's got some Mike Zimmer influences, and Mike Zimmer sucks.
Yeah. Who's the other guy that I keep hearing about? There's some other guy that there's always like 10 if you ever listen to New York radio with this stuff, there's always like 10 guys that everyone mentions. Jay's one of them. The Tomlin's the other one.
How about Robert Saleh?
I would love Robert Saleh. I like Robert Saleh. I really
He would
do.
at least fix your defense.
I like his ability. I just like him in general. I like his demeanor and who he is. The other guy is John Harbaugh. Harbaugh might be in that mix as well.
I was just about to jokingly ask if you want Harbaugh, considering the really sad state of the Ravens defense.
No,
but
I take him.
But here's the thing: do you think he's still a good head coach, and that this is a case of the Ravens just burning out on him, or is Harbaugh just covered up his incompetence with elite talent?
I don't know about that. I think he's a good coach overall. I just think that he had a bad year comparatively. And if we're going to take advantage of a situation, that would be it. But I think we're going to need new management at the top before we can even grab a guy like that. You can't have a Joe Shane and then have, a brand new coaching staff and all that. The thing that sucks, I want to get a guy that can help with Jackson Dart, which I think is going to be the main staple here is everyone wants to bring in a guy that could help him. And unless we're paying for Kevin O'Connell, which I doubt, which I'm very sure that that's not going to happen. I don't know how I feel about most coaches coming in. Maybe Daboll comes back as an OC. That's the other thing that I've been thinking about and hoping that might happen. I think he was a bad head coach, but I think he's a good OC.
Do you think the Giants are going to get him though with the way they fired him?
We'll see. But my point is that if I were to bring in a guy, like if I were to bring him back, it would be an OC. Like I would just be like, hey,
okay,
You know what I mean? Like you're
Well,
gonna come back. I
yeah.
get that they probably won't, but hey,
Dable would probably tell them to go fuck themselves.
Probably, but he's. I think he's a better OC than he would be anything else. So,
yeah,
we got a question in the chat from Boss PVD Clit. I don't know. I'm probably getting it wrong.
We'll go with that.
I'm gonna go Boss. Your name is Boss. It's Luther Burden or Brian Pat Salts Thomas. We always get these. I'm gonna go Burden.
I am not going to go Burden here. Right now, I have Brian Tom. I don't know why his nickname is Bass Salts, but I'm just going to look past that. Call him Brian Thomas Jr. I have him at wide receiver 28 this week, and Luther Burden does not crack my top 28. So I think you got to go Brian Thomas Jr. here.
Okay. I can't. I just can't. I just can't get into the conversation. Him and Lawrence just haven't seen the same. They haven't seen the field the same. Luther Burden at least has been involved. They've been getting him more, and he's involved in the special teams too. So he has a little extra for me.
Well, Luther Burden is not playing special teams anymore. He started
really?
the first
I
four.
He's still catching.
He started the first 4 weeks doing that, and then once they removed him from kick and punt return duties, that's when we knew that Burden was going to be taken seriously in the offense when they took him off of that. So,
then I'll go Brian Thomas.
Yeah, he hasn't played special teams since September.
He's the 3rd in the pecking order. That's why I don't. Actually, more like 4th because ETN probably has it. So that's why it's like all these guys, like these both guys are roughly in that same pecking order. Brian Thomas Jr., I guess, is a better. I don't know. They need Mac Jones. They need Mac Jones back to make him better.
Don't they ever?
Trade him to the team that has Mac Jones. Dr. Ken, he goes, appreciate everything this season, guys. Of course, that's what we're here for, man. He goes, what do the shows and schedule look like after fantasy season ends? So, we probably won't be here next week because week 18 means nothing. I'm sorry if you have your championship in week 18. I pray for you. Check out our Discord. We will be in there. We can answer questions there. It's just by then, a lot of things are going to change, and you're going to see guys being sit. You're going to see guys that might have gotten like twisted ankles that are not going to be playing next week, or, someone that got a boo-boo. They just don't want to play. Like there's going to be a lot of different things happening next week. We're not going to be here to be on the show to talk about it, but you can put it in the Discord. We'll talk about it. When it comes to shows in the off season, we probably will try to do, a mock after the Super Bowl, just to kind of do a really, really, really early mock. And then we will definitely be back, around the, free agency. So, St. Patrick's Day-ish. And then from there, we will probably be back after the NFL draft. We usually start back up, but Kendall, Evan, Phil, everyone's going to be doing some Dynasty content throughout that time. So there won't be like set days. There will be videos out, that everyone can check out and be a part of, and, still keep everything moving. But we're not as quote unquote active in the off season. But we try to, we still keep engagement going, and we want you guys to still be involved. But yeah, we definitely try to get early mocks going. That's our big, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the show. We will be having early mocks going on. We do mocks all the time. I mean, that's one of our things that we love doing in the off season. We will be a very big part of that. After the NFL draft, we will start, doing mocks every Friday night again and get everything going and getting you guys back into the mock season. And then, Dynasty weeks and, Scott Fishbowl and all different types of stuff in the off season that we did this year. So
there's a lot that's just, I guess that's a fancier way of saying there's a lot up in the air right now. At least there's some set things that I'm sure we have in the works, yet to be determined. I'm brand new to the team. Brand new to the team, so we're going to need to have some internal discussions of what to do.
Of course.
I would love to bring Monday Night Mock Drafts with Evan to Get Right Fantasy, but right now nothing is set in stone, so there's nothing to commit to yet, Dr. Ken, but please stay tuned. We will definitely announce more on the Discord server when we know, and we hope to see you all more throughout the dog days of winter.
Yes, this is when we kind of hibernate and take a couple minutes to be back with family and catch up on life, which is a big, big thing that we need to do. So we will be doing that for a little bit, but then we're gonna, ramp back up as the season goes. We're gonna still be like we're in a process of trying to talk out and figure out what we're gonna do for next season. The main things we're always gonna do mock drafts. We are going to be doing that. That's never going to go away. All the other stuff like Dynasty content and things like that, we're just adding to it and making more of it. We want to expand it and get better at it and do more for everybody. So that's the stuff that's going to change, but not in a bad way. It's all going to be in a great way. So right now, there's just a lot of discussions and a lot of things that we got to talk over in the off season to get you guys the best content out there because we want to make sure you guys keep coming back. So Sniper Mel, make sure you check out our particular Discord. I'm trying to understand what this is. SFPL?
I'm not sure what SFPL is either.
Yeah, if you can explain that to me, that'd be great. I don't know what that is, but it's just escaping my head. I'm trying to think if you meant the what is it called? FFPC or something like that.
Is that King's Classic or is that separate?
It's a Scottish playoff league. No, I've never heard of this.
I haven't either. That's unfamiliar.
Yeah, I've never heard of what a Scottish playoff league is. I would love to hear what it is. We are not against other types of formatting and all types of stuff like that. So definitely would love to hear more. But yeah, definitely check us out in the chat or in the Discord. Everything is below in the description. So definitely check that out. But yeah, I would love to learn what Scottish playoff leagues are. That would be cool. I know Phil and Tycoon love their English Premier League and stuff like that. So there's definitely some soccer talk. We don't care. Sports, we love sports, but fantasy football is kind of the big thing. I mean, the one thing I'm doing the off season myself, I'm doing a historical baseball league. It's pretty interesting. We drafted our teams already, but you pretty much pick a player from a year that you like, and then the team runs like a sim, and you run 162 sims, and it's, who's the best out of that, and you go to playoffs and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. My team is mostly Yankees and not by choice. It's just how it worked out. I was the 12th pick, and I always got 2 picks. So for me, I was always trying to get a pitcher and a position player. So
yeah, I haven't done fantasy baseball in years, man. Like I did.
Oh no. That's the best part. I'm not setting rosters. I'm not like setting a daily thing. I just give my guy all my lineups. I can't stand fantasy baseball. I can't do it. I just can't.
It just requires so much more work because you're not setting weekly lineups. But yeah, so Fantasy Cares, it'll be on their website. I'm kind of new to being in Fantasy Cares leagues, especially Scott Fishbowl. I'm brand new to it this year. Mike, how many years have you done Scott Fishbowl?
I've been doing it the last 5 years, 6 years. I've been doing, I'm at, and if I try to be a part of the the New York City Live every year. I've been a part of it pretty much since the Scott Fishbowl 12, I think it is. So I've been doing 12, 13, 14, and 15. Yep. So 4 years, 5 years, something like that. Oh, no, yep. I did 1 year not live. So I did, So I did 1 year with not live, but still, I love doing the live events. Scott Fish is great. Oh, I got to meet him at the expo. Got to meet all the other guys that are a part of that. So yeah, Sniper Mel, love those guys. I get to hang out with Russ all the time, and because he comes to New York City for the live draft, which is nice, and I get to see all those guys. So it's a great group of guys. Ryan Hellman is one of the best out there that runs that particular thing every year, and really love those guys. So really can't wait to get a part of it this year and get more involved as we go. I think I won my satellite league, so hopefully I'm in next year.
And I did the Chicago live draft this year too. Assuming I get picked again for Scott Fishbowl 26, I will most definitely Scott Fishbowl 16. I will most definitely plan on coming to the Chicago live draft wherever that's held as well. Yeah. This year the one we had was super duper fun too. We had there's two major banquet halls at Maggiano's in downtown Chicago, well, River North technically, and we had both of them, and we filled that whole room. It was fantastic. the beautiful wooden walls and unlimited appetizers and bar beverages. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we had Legends in New York City over near the Empire State Building, and it was 2 floors, and we basically, we could fill both without a problem. Oh, nice! You got a golden ticket. That's fantastic. I love when people get those. I ended up, I won my chance last year from one of the live events. It was a silent auction, and I ended up winning it. But this year, I did not have that luxury. I unfortunately did not win our raffle for next year, but I did do the Scott Fishbowl on Underdog Fantasy, as you see at the top. We are sponsored with them as well, so make sure you guys are using promo code Get Right, and we can, they will help you at checkout when you register. So make sure you guys check it out. Oh yeah. I loved it, and honestly, it's always a great time. I always try to get in one way or another. I've done the races, I've done all types of shit to get in, and I've gotten in every time. And I just love the groups that I'm with. I love the people that I'm involved with. I always contribute every year, buy tons of shirts. I buy all the things that I can possibly buy from these things. I have a Scott Fishbowl cup right here that I got to bring upstairs. So either way, like I am Scott Fished to the gills. Yeah. Sniper Mel says that Chicago one looked fun. Looked so much fun. All the events that these guys go. I mean, I want to go to the Vegas one year. Like that one looks like a lot of fun. I just can't afford it. But right now, I love going into NYC and being able to, be a part of the New York Live one and being a part with everybody that's there. We have so many great people that show up and really just love the league that I was a part of this year. They were just a great group of guys. I ended up winning that Taylor jersey in the back right there they did a raffle. Well, they did a bidding. Won it for a lot of money. A lot of money. The guy kept putting up the price, so it got up to $525. So worth it. LT signed jersey, I'll take it. It's the only jersey I have that it was the only one that I needed. I had this one already, but Bavaro is less known. All right. So for those that are new to the channel, make sure you guys check out our affiliate podcast as well with Phil at the Extra Point and Kendall on the Fantasy Football Tavern. Also, make sure you guys there you go. Also, make sure you guys check out Evan on his channel as well at Barely Fantasy. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to all those channels.
I am one subscriber away from 150. So look up Barely Fantasy on YouTube and hit subscribe. And I don't have a prize in mind, but I promise I'll love you forever, platonically.
But make sure you guys check them out, like and subscribe to their shows as well. Also, like I said before, I just wanted to bring this up. We got the promo code Get Right. They do have some things going on. Went up to 5,000 times your money. Play 5, get 75. So make sure you guys are using promo code Get Right, and you will get that promo at checkout. Also, make sure you guys, it's the end of the year. And all these great things come to a culmination. And you know what? Your league might not have a trophy. You should go get one. And the best place to go, trophysmack.com. They have so many wonderful options. They have these customizable trophies right here. Love these. They can make it for your league. We have the belt as well. This is one of their best sellers. You can customize it to your league. Kirk Cousins chain right here. I love the Kirk Cousins chain. I think it's awesome. And then also you can customize a championship ring right there. Love it. We did it for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Made it our own. We gave this away a while back. They also have wonderful things like helmets. They have a banner that's out there now. I love the helmet idea. Ended up doing it in my league. Didn't buy that one, but I did something similar. But either way, check out trophysmack.com. Use promo code Get Right, and they will help you out at checkout. All right,
Sniper Bell, appreciate you for joining us too. It's been a while since I've seen you in comments, and I remember Sniper Mel the most when I was interviewed on the sports affiliate. It was Zin Carla's show. I forgot the name of her podcast. I was on one of her episodes in April, and
I love Carla.
She has a great audience. I love her.
Yeah, I met her at the expo as well. I met a few people at the expo, and she was one of them. So I do appreciate those people and getting them involved. She goes, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the evening. I'll look forward to finding you on Discord, and good luck. Thanks. Really love having you guys a part of it. Johnson Lee, no problem. I'll answer your question. Rico or Stefan Diggs, standard league.
Ooh, standard. Classic.
I'm always going to lead. It's probably Diggs.
I think it's got to be Rico, despite the tougher matchup.
Yeah. I just, who's going to get a touchdown? Probably Diggs.
now that I've already recommended Rico, that's probably what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, right. I don't know. I've done that too, and I hate that. I'm going to go Diggs. You're going to go Rico. We're split here. It's a tough matchup, and I'm taking the easier matchup and hoping that they're both a hope if they get a touchdown. Rico's safer, much safer for your championship. So I will say that. Sean Doyle, what's going on, man? He goes, yo, fellas, I have a few start sits. I'm a fire them off first. It's full PPR, Taysom Hill or Brenton Strange. We're both going to say Strange. He says he's rolling with Taysom right now because I went against Vikings D and Will Ricard.
I would not be trying for upside at this point, Sean. I think you got to go safe floor here.
Yeah, go with Brenton Strange. I think you're going to be fine. Dylan Sampson or Corum. Yeah, I'm going to go Corum as well. Yes, you'll get some usage, but not as much as you think you will.
Dylan Sampson is nowhere near as good as Quinshon Judkins. You got to go Corum, even though he's second banana in that backfield.
Yeah. He's just been on fire. Hard to stop. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up this show. We have gone over 100 hour and 36 minutes. So thank you everybody for joining. Sniper Mel, thank you so much. John Lee, everybody in the chat, Ken, Dr. Ken, Boss, just everybody. Too many names. I don't disagree with you there, Sean, that Samson eats with PPR, but not as much as you might think he will.
I'd still rather play Corum.
Yeah, I think Corum has a better chance for a touchdown and can do more with less, in my opinion. So, thank you everybody for joining the show today. We really do appreciate you all. Please check us out in our Discord. It's listed below in our description. Honestly, it is the best place to reach us, and it's one of the places that we are trying to grow our community so that we can answer your questions and be a little bit more active. We will be in there a lot in the off season. We will not be back probably for a little bit, but don't fear, we will be back. But make sure you guys check us out on the Discord, and we will be there to talk to you. So good luck to everybody in your Week 17 championship week. Evan, good luck to you and all your championship week.
Well, I'm contending for third in 1 week, and then I'm eliminated from my other two. So at least I could go for third.
There you go. Third in one of my leagues. It means I don't pay next year for fantasy. So for me, that's a win.
Yeah.
So, and it's $300. So for me, that's a huge win. But other leagues, I got two championships that I'm currently in that I'm trying to win. So hopefully I can get those wins this week. We'll see. So good luck to everybody, unless you're facing me. I'll see you guys. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Good luck to everybody. We'll see you all soon. Peace.